Okay, so yesterday, for the second micro lecture, we ended up adding and subtracting polynomials. Today we're going to spend the first half of class talking about multiplying. All right, so this is just going to be another practice on can you distribute everything in the first polynomial onto everything in the second. All right, one mental check that can help you if you're struggling with this: count the number of terms in the first polynomial, count the number of terms in the second, and when you multiply those numbers, that should be the number of terms you have before you simplify. Okay? So just that's a mental check before you start simplifying to get your final solution. Count to make sure you have all of the terms you need. All right, now you're going to find out when we do an example here that multiplying polynomials has adding and subtracting polynomials within it. Okay, when I say simplify to get your final answer, that is adding and subtracting like terms. So what we did yesterday at the last part of class will come back in this morning. All right, you guys ready to try one together?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, let's try this one. So before I even multiply, I do a mental check. How many terms are in this first polynomial? 3. The second one?
3.
When I multiply 3 times 3, I get 9. So when I do this, I'm expecting to get how many terms before I simplify? 9. So if you don't get 9 terms, you've done something wrong. Okay, so that's a good mental check. So I'm going to color code this, but again, if you don't have that opportunity, that's okay. I'm going to show you the way that I like to organize it on my paper. There are other ways to do it. So this is my preference of how I like to organize when I multiply. So I'm going to multiply this x squared times everything in the second polynomial. All right, so this first x squared is going to multiply by all 3 of the terms in the second polynomial. Everyone okay? All right, what's x squared times x squared? X to the 4th power. So whenever you multiply, which is why I had this in the rewind, when you multiply with the same base, you should add the exponents. So that's 2 plus 2 to give me 4. So x to the 4th power. All right, what about x squared times 5x? 5x cubed. Again, there's a 1 there, even if you don't see it. So 2 plus 1 makes 3. So the new exponent is cubed. Notice when I'm multiplying, the exponents are changing. All right, the exponents are changing. What about x squared times negative 2? Negative 2x squared. How many terms do I have so far?
3.
I have 3, so am I done?
No.
No, we're looking for 9. We're looking for 9 of them. All right, I'm going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to move over to the negative 4x times each of these. So the negative 4x multiplies by all 3. What's negative 4x times x squared? Negative 4x cubed. Notice where I write it. Notice where I'm writing this. Do you guys see why I wrote it there?
Because
It's the same as the one on top of it. I like to line them up vertically. That's my preference. Again, you don't have to do this. You could continue writing along the same line if you would like. All right, that's fine by me. I do not care. I like to vertically line them up. It makes simplifying in my head easier. Yes. Okay. Negative 4x times 5x.
Negative 20.
Make sure we're including that x. Negative 20x squared. X times x is x squared. And finally, negative 4x times negative 2. Actually, positive 8x. Notice, so far, there's only one x to the 1st power. That's positive 8x. Am I finished?
No.
I have how many terms?
You have 6.
6, and I need 9 of them. 9 total. So I'm going to finish. Everything in the second one's going to get multiplied by this 1. So 1 times all 3 of these. Now 1 times anything,
1x squared.
it's going to be the same stuff. So 1 times each of these is going to be all those again. So I'm going to have x squared plus 5x minus 2. All right, so have I distributed to get all of my terms?
Yes.
I have. I have 9 terms. Again, that was my mental check. 3 terms times 3 terms gives you 9 terms. Now, are we finished? No, we're not finished, but we know we have distributed correctly. So now, to get the final answer, you're going to add all of your like terms together. The reason I like to organize it in this way is so that now I can just add straight down to get my solution. Okay? Add straight down. All right, now, will I have 9 terms in my answer? No, I will not. But again, that was the check before I start simplifying. Notice, at this point, it becomes what we did yesterday afternoon. Now we're going to add, so I only combine like terms, those that have the same exponent. All right, only combine those that have the same exponent. So now the exponents are not changing. When we distributed, the exponents changed. Now the exponents are unchanged. All right, so this one has nothing in common, so it's still going to be x to the 4th power. What about 5x cubed plus negative 4x cubed? Just positive 1x cubed. Again, the exponents should not be changing at this point in the process. Negative 2, negative 20, and a positive 1. Negative 21. Very good. That's negative 21 x squared. 8 and 5. 13. And finally, minus 2. So we have finished the process for multiplying those polynomials. So it's a long process, takes some time. All right, but that is it. Are there any questions? Just for fun, can you name it? Can you name this polynomial at the end? Can you name that polynomial? Would anyone like to try? Name the polynomial. 1. Why do you say quintic? So again, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms, but we do not use quintic for 5 terms. We use quintic for a degree of 5.
Polynomial.
It is a polynomial.
With
It definitely has polynomial with 5 terms, but we need to name it with the degree first. Quartic. Quartic. Quartic from yesterday. Quartic. So this is a quartic polynomial with 5 terms. You're not expected to do that today. I just wanted to bring back yesterday. Are there any questions before I let you try? Guys, it's going to be a process to do some of these, okay? So do that mental check before you start multiplying. If you look at number 2, why do alarm bells go off in my head when I look at number 2? I'm actually not worried about them not having the same number of terms. That's fine by me. What do you mean by out of order? Not in standard form. Is 2 minus 5a plus a squared in standard form? So what would I do first? I would rearrange this to be standard form, and then I would multiply. All right. The fact that they have different terms, you'll find, does not affect you. All right. We ready? Begin.